Hello and welcome to the Enchanted Kingdom of Hermione. We're up here in the Turret of Pleasure, trying to watch some fails, listening to music and digging through the stuff. And I found a bunch of stuff I'd forgotten to review quite a while ago, so I'm going to catch up on this stuff. I can show everybody what's going on with it, what I think of it anyway. And one of the things I forgot I had, because it was packed in an awkward place, was a couple of box sets. I don't know what you would call these box sets, book sets. The Velvet Underground and Nico, and the Velvet Underground White Light White Heat. Officially known as the Velvet Underground White Light White Heat 45th Anniversary Super Deluxe Edition. Now, that's great, except that there's actually a 45th Anniversary Not So Super Deluxe Edition that it keeps getting confused with when you look for it on Amazon. It's a fucking headache. It's the 6 CD one. It's not really a box, it's a book. The CDs are in the back. And this one's only a 3 CD box. The other one was 6. And the 6, I mean, they stretched it a bit. They added Chelsea Girl. They added a mono mix CD. They added a sort of raw track CD. And there's an amazing live CD. I bought this new. The last one I bought used at Lyle's place. This one I bought new. I think I might have bought it new from Lyle's place. At any rate, it was about $75 in about 2013. It wasn't cheap. Yeah, 2013. And, but, now, first of all, if you don't know what this record is, you've got to immediately go out and listen to it, because this is kind of the record, one of those Rosetta Stone records. The cover is almost, it's going to look like a black thing to you, I guess. The cover is very subtle. It's just a gray on black picture of somebody's tattoo, if I remember right. Very obscure. Now, I didn't hear this record when it came out. I am that old. I could have. But nobody bought this record when it came out. This and the record before. Nobody bought the Velvet Underground records. They barely existed in the marketplace. And I was really into records and rock music as a kid. I never heard of these guys. It took until 1972. My old pal Simon Hopper had both this and the first record that he had somehow acquired. And they were, if I remember right, I think I still have them somewhere. They were polygram Verve pressings from Canada, which means they weren't the first pressing. So maybe they sold a few. I don't know. Rumor was they sold about 5,000 or something, but I don't remember any kind of exact numbers. I know neither of these records charted, I don't think, at all. And the first one had the girl singer and the soft songs, and there was a little bit of chaotic jamming, a little bit of noise in the Black Angel Death song, but it was mostly pop music about dark subjects with a little bit of weirdness here and there. It was mostly Nico kind of made it palatable to the masses. The box set, of course, has some live stuff that is less palatable. I think it's really great. But by the time Nico left and went to her solo career, which went on in fits and starts for the rest of her life, really, these guys came up with this record. Now, this record, this is as subtle as an atomic bomb. It's essentially super high energy, thrashy rock and roll played by speed freaks who don't, I mean, they're not the world's greatest instrumentalists. Let's be honest here. And so Lou Reed goes off on these solos where he's just basically making noise, and the drummer's just hammering away on a floor tom, really. And you've got Sterling Morrison playing great rhythm guitar, and John Cale playing either bass or sometimes organ. And there's exactly one really quiet song on this. Here She Comes Now, which I think is about, if I remember correctly, it's about frigidity. Again, very dark subject matter. White Light, White Heat, and I Heard Her Call My Name are like benchmarks of like punk rock. They're pre punk rock. The Gift is a weird story told over basically a jam background. Lady Godiva's Operation is a sort of a weird song with terrible overdubs, really badly done. Tom Wilson did this, and apparently he was just not engaged at all. But the real pièce de résistance on this, of course, to all of us in people, is Sister Ray, which goes on for about 18 minutes, and it just turns into this giant noise jam. And it's great, and it's a depravity-filled story of sucking on my ding-dongs and couldn't hit my main line and all kinds of dark shit. And for 1967, I guess this was just completely beyond the pale. Nobody bought this record. Nobody thought it was any good. I certainly never heard anybody. When this came out, I was listening to The Piper at the Gates of Dawn, thinking it was the wildest thing I'd ever heard in my life. This was simply not available for me to hear. I wonder what I would have thought. When was it put out? It was recorded September '67. Gary Kelgren, the engineer, who the fuck are these guys? I could just hear the conversation in the control room. Like, these guys don't really know how to play, do they, Tom? No, they don't. Not really, no. Gary, you want to turn that guitar down a little bit? He's just feeding it back. Yeah, I think he means to do that, Tom. Jesus, it's driving me nuts. Yeah. Anyways, a brilliant rock masterpiece, in my humble opinion. Probably more accidental than anything. And here we have everything you might ever want out of a box set dedicated to this album. Now, there is additional material. There's an alternate take I heard Her Call My Name, which, if you can believe this, is even more fucking off the rails than the original. And then there's this thing called I Guess I'm Falling in Love, instrumental version, which is kind of I'm not sure, just sort of another sort of soft song that never made the album. And then there's a song, Temptation Inside Your Heart, Stephanie Says, produced and arranged by the Velvet Underground, 1968. Now this would have been just before John Cale left. Yeah. And then you got Hey Mr. Rain versions 1 and 2, and a version of Beginning to See the Light. Now these are of note because John Cale was still in the band. The recorded versions of those, needless to say, are with Doug Yule in the band. These are a little bit more rockin'. I really like them. Nothing here transcends the insanity of the album, really. Disc 2 is the mono version with the mono single, which I'd love to know what the difference is. It's the same. Both songs are the same length. So I don't know. One of these days I'll A/B them and see if there's a difference. The Gift vocal version and the Gift instrumental version, which is great. Finally, I get to hear the Gift without the story because it's a cool little rambling jam. Or you can hear just the Gift, the vocal thing, where it sounds like a strange fable. And then of course, the treat for all of us junkies, Velvet Junkies, is Live at the Gymnasium, New York City, April 30th, 1967. So this is earlier on. What does this? So, yeah, the album was recorded in September. This is from a gig in April, so they were all still, working well together. Booker T. There's a song called Booker T. There's a song called I'm Not a Young Man Anymore. Guess I'm Falling in Love, Waiting for the Man, Run, Run, Run. A 19-minute version of Sister Ray, which is pretty great, actually. And then a 10.5-minute version of The Gift, which is pretty interesting. This is wonderful. A Velvet Junkie needs to at least hear this. Again, sound is actually really good for what is essentially a 1967, I guess, bootleg. I think it's in mono. Doesn't matter. In this kind of package, which are, I wish I could find some nice inner sleeves or something for these, because it's a good way to scratch up your discs. Still available, probably about anywhere between $60 and $100. If you're a Velvet's junkie and you don't need this on vinyl, This is a fantastic thing to own. I give it like an A plus. It's the last word. The booklet, every little there's Tom Wilson right there. Look at the man. There he is. Didn't have a fucking clue. Tom Wilson proudly, quote, lays it on. Yeah. Lou Reed of the Velvet Underground, while John Cale, and somebody said to correct this, Cale, the producer DJ, just played a sneak release, quote unquote, of the group's new LP, White Light White 8. The fascinating album features a short story read to a rock and roll beat in a unique stereo recording where the listener can fade out the music on one channel and just listen to the reading, or vice versa. Remember, folks, 1967. Wow. So this is great. It has every fucking detail, promo posters. Great, 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 great. And the whole story behind it. And it's not, they don't fawn over them, which I like. I mean, there's, they appreciate the band, obviously, and it is the record label, of course, putting it out. But it's well written, and I think it's pretty much on the money. So there you have it. That's all there is to say about it. If you like the Velvets, you need this thing. And it's a great little book. It's not really a box set. It's a book set, I guess. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. What the heck is on here? Oh, YouTube is taking me somewhere else. Oh, we're going to the ship. Carnage. Ship Carnage. Good. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification button if you want to see more of this gibberish. And we'll come up with something crazy and new to bring back to you next time. Take care of each other. COVID's getting almost over, although the numbers are bad. Get your vaccination. Take care of each other. Take a deep breath if you get mad. We'll talk to you later.